so it's probably going to be some local guys here. Or you can, I'm not sure if the YouTube is on now. We'll have to wait for Chuck to.
Bad wind you can't hear from a kilometer away.
This is V3 Bravo Kilowatt. Okay, right now the band hasn't gone long yet, and it was a beautiful day here in Hamilton, although Marty said he drove through a snowstorm coming home from Ottawa, so that's not good, but I think it depends on where you are in the province of Ontario, in the northern section, or if you're in southern Ontario like we are in Hamilton, Ontario, the west end of Lake Ontario. It's usually we have pretty good weather here. So this is V3 Bravo Kilowatt for the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club. Anybody, anywhere, we're starting now, and we're looking for your check-ins. This is Victor Echo 3 Bravo Kilowatt for the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club. And next week we're thinking about going to 80 meters, and that'll be back on the old frequency of 3.693, 3.693. But we want some input and see if other people think that's a good idea. Okay, this is V3 Bravo Kilowatt looking for check-ins. Victor Echo 3 Bravo Kilowatt. Yeah, it slowly goes along in this hour, and right now I am hearing myself in Pennsylvania. Well, no, actually it's in Vermont I'm listening. So anyway, but we're listening locally as well. Anybody, anywhere, if you want to check into the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club Net, please go now.
Victor Echo 3, Fox Hotel Echo.
Okay, there's Walt Honey, VE3, Fox Hotel Echo, and you're coming in good here, Walt, so go ahead.
Yeah, Roger, the band's not too bad tonight. You're coming here good as well, 5-9 plus 10. So, good evening to you, Rick. How you doing?
So, Happy New Year there, Walt, and did get that last comment there. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was saying the same thing. Asking you how you were and wishing you a Happy New Year, Roger.
Roger, yeah, we didn't hear each other, and yeah, I didn't get on the net there. Usually the net we run on Thursday for the Warplane Heritage. Marty was away, and the Warplane was closed anyway, so we didn't do it for the last 2 weeks there, over?
Yeah, Roger. Well, 'tis the season. Everybody's busy doing family stuff and Christmas stuff, and yeah, I know how it goes. That's good. Well, good to hear you.
Roger, good to hear you too. And so anyway, are you able to do 80 meters?
Am I able to do 80 meters? I can get there, but I don't have the wattage usually to like 100 watts usually isn't enough, Roger.
Okay, well, here's a proposal. Because the band goes long, and right now I tried to listen to you in the SDR, and it's going out. It's going out right now. This time of night. In the summer months, it's okay, but right now it's starting to go long too early because it's dark, and so right now 80 meters to work the guys I normally work on 40, like in Barry's Bay and South Algonquin, and sometimes we get PEI come in there. Right now the band's too long, and or it will be shortly, and so I was thinking about going back to 80 meters. We were on 3.693, and I can flick a few switches here and be there, and so we can try it out. But if you want to try, I don't know whether you can tune up or whatever, that might leave a dilemma for you. But we can hear the Hamilton guys pretty good here on local antenna, so there's no problem there. Back to you.
Yeah, Roger, it would take me a little bit. I have to go out there and tune the coil, and I'm not really in the mood for that right now, but I could probably be ready by next week.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, it's not so easy to switch over when you run a net. You got to notify people, and you got to put it on the website and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're thinking about doing for next week. But anyway, yeah, so no problem there. And let's see if there's anybody else out there. I'm waiting to hear from Chuck to see if we're on YouTube, because if we are, I'd like to address anybody on YouTube there. Over.
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu.
VA3FHE, standby.
Okay, well, and I just heard Chuck in there. So, Chuck, anyway, we're thinking about going to 80 meters because the band has gone too long, and all we're doing is working local guys here. And before in 80, we could work the guys in Berries Bay, and Petrolia, and all, and South Algonquin, and anyway, we worked all them guys, and those guys are missing out right now. They usually check into the net, and one of them actually sent me an email and said, I can't hear you on 40 meters. So, anyway, are we on YouTube? Maybe people, it doesn't really matter. They will still tune into your YouTube, I believe, there, or?
Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu. Yeah, Rick, unfortunately, my antenna no longer tunes up on 80 meters, so until I can figure out a way to do something with my antenna to be able to tune, like I can if I switch over and disconnect my coax and put it in the manual tuner, but the auto tuner just won't do it, so I don't know what's going on. But if that's what you guys decide to do, then that's fine. And by the way, we are streaming live on YouTube. You just put in my call in the YouTube search and look for the live button, and you can check us out there. My call again, VA3 Charlie Juliet Zulu. And so, yeah, I didn't really announce it tonight when I did the Monday Night Net on ZOE Repeater, but I forgot about it. So I'll have to promote the YouTube stream, and we occasionally have some people stop by, but for now it's pretty quiet. And anyways, back to you, Rick.
Yeah, Roger, we're likely to get more people on the YouTube stream than we are to get actually on the radio here direct, because it'll be like last week and the week before we get locals pretty much, and that's why we're thinking about going back to 80. So right now I'm not hearing I had Walton here, and then I never checked you on the SDR, but the SDR is going long, so right now, and then it was noisy last week. Now right at just before 8 o'clock, it was working fine, and that's the way it's been. So it goes long during this hour, it goes really long. So anybody out there listening, Chuck has on YouTube. If you want to check in on YouTube, VA3CJZ on the YouTube stream, and that's a live stream. And if you want to chat in there, Chuck will chat back with you, and he can notify us that you're there. Okay, and this is VE3 Bravo Kilowatt for the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club. We're located in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, and we're at the west end of Lake Ontario. So anybody anywhere, if you can hear us and you want to check in, please go now.
Victor Echo 3, Lima Bravo, India.
Yeah, VE3
Yep, AV Rec, Happy New Year to you, sir.
Yeah, Happy New Year there, and good to hear you in there, Larry. Anyway, the topic tonight, we're thinking about going back to 80 meters because 40 meters gone too long at this time of night, and we're thinking about it. What's your thoughts on it?
What frequency are you thinking about going to, Rick?
Back to where we were, 3693, or we have the other choice. We could probably try the 3755, but I haven't cleared whether that's free or not.
I'm not sure. I haven't really been doing too much on 80. All I know is I still have that toll rate on 7100 here. 1 kc up, 1 kc down, it goes away. But it's worth a shot. I could probably see if I can tune up to it. So you're looking at 3693.
Roger, yep, 3693, and for anybody locally here, it probably will make no difference, except whether they have the capability of doing that with the antennas, whatever, and I know that you had some sweet spots on that antenna you had, so I don't know whether 3693 is a good one or not. I know you get noise here. You get noise on this one, don't you?
Yeah, I have noise on this one. Yeah, I don't have any traps in the antenna. They're all coils, no traps.
Yeah, exactly. So, so you probably receive pretty much everything. So anything that's near you or whatever, but 80 meters should work good for you. Now this auto tuner thing with the G5RV, I thought the auto tuners, every band was pretty close because it works on harmonics. That's what I thought. But I know that some of the G5RVs some of the center pit dipoles that we worked on over the years, some of them were either tuned so they received the higher frequencies better, so you had to make them shorter, or the lower bands, like top band and 80 meters, were better, and you had to make the antenna longer. I don't know if the G5RV is that way or not. Do you know anything about that?
I have no idea at all about G5RVs. I've never owned one. I haven't actually probably even seen one that I can remember.
Oh, yeah, well, hey, maybe we should be asking Chuck this. Anyway, he has trouble tuning up 80 meters with his auto tuner, and but he can use the manual tuner, works okay. That, I kind of think there's something wrong with the G5RV if it's like that, either, or it's cut too short or something like that, maybe. I don't know. It could be, it could be something as easy as the vertical section is too close to the house, or something like that. You never know with those. I didn't have a whole lot of success with G5RVs either, and I found that if you disconnected, and there was somebody else that just said the same thing, 160, if you disconnected one side and fed off your manual tuner as a long wire, it worked just fine, because then you put the two wires together and worked like a big T. For 160, worked fine. So I was surprised when I read that somebody else had tried that, and that's what I did when I first got out of the air. I had a G5RV. So anyway, Chuck, you got any words of wisdom for us there? Is there any other sections? Can you go on that G5RV without the tuner? So back to you, Chuck.
Rick, to answer your question, of course I can bypass the tuner, and I can also unhook it and hook it up to the manual tuner. But I wanted to try something with the vertical portion of the antenna, like you mentioned. It is also sensitive, And I don't know what happened, but I used to be able to tune, unless I was using the manual tuner. But I don't know, nothing's changed. And I was thinking of maybe folding back a section of the vertical portion, just see if that does anything to the SWR there. Over.
Right now I am picking you up on the SCR, so that means that, of course, I get you better direct 20 over. But anyway, that is a great idea because the vertical section, you can actually shorten it or lengthen that, and that will affect your whole antenna there, over.
Yeah, but being how frail I've been with this flu virus this year, I'm not brave enough to be going outside anytime soon. But we're looking at some very warm temperatures on Friday. They're talking about 10 degrees above zero. So you never know. But I'll see what I can do, Rick. But if I can't, I will continue to stream the net on YouTube, and I will promote it. So you just type in my call in the YouTube search, and you can find us under the live button there, and I'll be sure to try and advertise a little bit more.
Okay, very good. And right now, let's see depending on tonight's results, on who thinks we should go to 80 or not, depends on whether we do just how or not. Anyway, 80 meters, I tried it with Tom there, VA3CJZ or TAC, and he's in Barry's Bay near London, and I could hear him just perfect on 80 meters, but 40 meters is too long. Right now, 40 meters is working okay. Actually, I heard Leary came in very good on the SCR in Vermont, so it looks like it hasn't changed. And maybe that has something to do with the warmer temperatures there, Chuck. I don't know. I spent some time outside today, and I looked at my temperature gauge in the backyard. It's in Fahrenheit, by the way. And it was 36 degrees. Well, Fahrenheit scale, 32 degrees is freezing. So all the snow was heavy, and everything was melted. The sidewalks were clear, and everything else. And then I heard Marty drove home in a storm from Ottawa. A snowstorm. So unbelievable. Depends on where you are in Ontario, but we're pretty darn lucky here in Hamilton, I think. Back to you, Chuck.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We live in a sweet spot. We're at the very tip of Lake Ontario, and we get a lot of deflection either to the north or to the south. Albert, Victor Alpha 3 Bravo Tango, he works up in Barrie, comes home on the weekends, and last night he decided to go back up to Barrie, and he said the Highway 400 was covered in snow, and so it must have been blowing, and it was a little bit of a tricky drive up north there, Rick. Anyhow, I forgot to mention, I thought I heard my neighbor at the very beginning of the net, and you weren't hearing him, so maybe give Kevin another call and see if you can hear him.
Okay, we'll do that, and this thing's taking a liar out of me tonight. I'm listening to you on Vermont. You're coming in really good, but I'll listen on my local antenna for Kevin. So, Kevin, if you're in there, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Rick. I just thought I'd jump in and say good evening and give you a quick check in. It's Dave, Director 3.
Okay, Dave. Good to hear you. And, hey, are you doing winter field day? I think I'm going to do it from here. And I've got all the information printed out and everything. They're getting really serious, them guys. It's getting more and more like the real field day there, over.
Oh, yeah. Wait. Well, I probably won't be, Rick. I'm starting to show my age, and I just don't do contact very well anymore. Don't have the stamina for it, but, yeah, good luck with it.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I know that one. Yeah, that's the same deal here, but I usually get on there and just have some fun for a short period of time or whatever, whenever I feel like getting on. And that one, I like doing that one. Winterfield Day, I've done that for, the last 5 years, I think. And it's just got bigger and bigger and bigger. And more people on there, too. I got to read the rules, though, because they changed the rules on a regular field day. You're not supposed to, a home station is not supposed to work a home station anymore. And I don't know if they got that on there or not. Do you know?
No, I haven't even looked into it, Rick. Like I said, my contact is pretty much at an end. So, yeah, I haven't even opened up the rule book. But, anyway, Rick, I just wanted to do the evening. I'm not feeling well today. They've got me on the Ozempic. And, yeah, it's knocking the hell out of me. So I think I'm going to call it a night and go to bed.
Well, I don't blame you. So, Happy New Year, Dave, from me and Pat, and good to hear you in there. Any Monday night we're here. We're thinking about going to 80, but if we do, that'll be on the website. And so for now, we're on 7100. And on Thursday afternoon, if you're around Thursday afternoon, VA3CWM's on the TP net on this frequency at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. there, Dave. Go ahead.
Oh, very good, very good. Yeah, I forgot all about CWM. I left for it. Yeah, most Monday nights I'm up at McDonald's and Surf Boys in a face-to-face intro. But like I said, I will be giving up to tonight on the table.
Yeah, Roger, Marty stayed home too. Okay, well, we'll carry on with the net here. Thanks for the check-in, Dave. And we're looking for V3WKG if he's in there. Chuck's going to hear him for sure. And usually I hear him pretty good, even on his low-power radio. So I don't know what happened to him there. Anyway, Kevin, if you're in there, go now, please. Okay, I don't hear him, Chuck. I don't hear him. He must have just made a short call and took off. Okay, but I'm hearing guys on the SDR, so I don't know if I didn't hear Dave on the SDR, but I heard you on there and Larry as well. And so Happy New Year to you guys, and thanks for the check-in. Okay, let's see if there's anybody else in here. If it's me and myself on the SDR, maybe those guys might come in here, the ones from Petrolia and Barry's Bay. And, yeah, they might be in there. So anybody, if you can hear me, please check in. You do not have to be a club member. VE3 Bravo Kilowatt. Well, I'm hearing myself just fine on there. So tonight, it's not, it must be the weather changing there, Chuck. I don't know. Like I said, it was 36 degrees in my backyard, and I went outside and cleared some snow off the truck and that, and I actually worked up a sweat, and I had on the jacket I like wearing all the time, which really isn't made for cold weather, but it's definitely okay for the shirt sleeve weather or for this kind of weather. And I worked up a sweat there doing that. So, that was unbelievable. Anyway, so the weather here is said we're going to have some plus 10-degree weather maybe around Hamilton area. So maybe all the snow will be gone. There's not very much on the ground right now down here in the city. Up in the mountain could be a little different. I'm not sure. Maybe somebody can tell us. But down here we got about 2 inches, something like that on the ground. And I think today some of it evaporated or melted away. Anyway, this is B3 Bravo Kilowatt. Anybody anywhere? If you want to check into the net, please go now. Okay, I am listening on the SCR in Vermont, which seems to work pretty good. The band has not come along yet. And anybody else around here, if Kevin comes back, WKG, if you come back, then we usually hear you locally, no problem at all, even with your low-powered radio, because the distance is not too far away. It's those guys that use walkie-talkies that are that far away, and we may or may not hear them. But I've used my walkie-talkie here before, and I think Chuck has heard me. Have you not, Chuck?
Yes, I believe I have. Yep, that's right. And just want to let you know we do have a YouTube check-in for you. If you want to write down Victor Echo 3 Golf, Victor Golf Hotel. Victor Echo 3 Victor Golf Hotel. And that's Jerry. Looks like he's in London. And he's joined us on the YouTube stream there, Rick. So welcome, Jerry, and Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us. Back to you, Rick.
Yeah, okay, Jerry. VA3 Victor Golf Hotel. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. And we are going to be, maybe we are going to 80 meters. And 40 meters has been going on at night. So you may or may not be able to reach us on 40 meters if you had those capabilities. I don't know if you do or not. Anyway, thanks for being there, Jerry, and hope you enjoy the YouTube. Chuck's YouTube works really good. He uses it for more than one net, and you can always count on it to go and listen to the stuff you can't hear locally. Okay, this is B3 Bravo Kilowatt. Again, we're looking for check-ins. You do not have to be a club member, but club members are welcome. Club members are welcome for sure. And anybody, anywhere, this is B3 Bravo Kilowatt. Wow, I'm hearing myself on the YouTube. I'm hearing myself on the SDR really good, so the band has not gone long yet, so tonight 40 meters is going to work really good for us. And those guys probably quit checking. Usually we have Whiskey is Good from Petrolia, and we have TAC, Tom from Barry's Bay usually, and sometimes we have Randy from South Algonquin. Check in here. Also, we have Rick sometimes check in from PEI, but if them and me, Lily, maybe they are not tuned in tonight. Okay, this is B3 Bravo Kilowatt. Anybody else? Anybody locally here? V3 Bravo Kilowatt. Yeah, bands are really good tonight, and Walt was coming in really good on 40 meters. Sometimes he's not as good as that. So it depends on the propagation, I believe, or what kind of weather we got. Anyway, this is B3 Bravo Kilowatt. We're looking for check-ins for the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club, the VHF Net on a Monday night. So anybody with HF VHF capabilities. Right now we're on 7100, and if you're on YouTube, you're on the YouTube stream with VA3CJZ. Welcome aboard. Okay, this is V3 Bravo Kilowatt. Anybody anywhere?
Check VE3 LBI.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I went to 3693. I can tune it, Rick. I didn't try transmitting on it. I didn't know if it was busy or not, but I did listen for a couple minutes, and I can tune to that frequency, no problem.
Okay, 3693. That's what I want to hear, Larry. Okay. 80 meters is good for you. Okay, and Chuck didn't get there, but he has to use his other tuner. Okay, well that's good. I think you know most of them antennas, if you put them upright, you don't even need a tuner. You know, like a 2-to-1 is okay. It won't hurt. Oops, it won't hurt your radio 2-to-1. And you know, and like quite often I'm 1.5. Right now, well, let's see, what am I right now? I'm 1.5, right on the money. And that seems to work really good here. You got to remember what the impedance is of the antenna. So if your antenna's cut right, it will be a 1.5, because usually a dipole is 75 ohms and your radio is looking for a 50. So you can improve by having a 1.5 Dalen, a transformer, but don't forget you get a little bit of loss there too. So anyway, I have 1-to-1 Balun on here just so I don't bother my neighbors, and even if I run power, I don't seem to bother my neighbors. So at least somebody's come knocking on my door, and a few years ago they did complain, but it turned out they had a cable problem with their internet. So I was bothering them because they had a connection that was not done properly. Anyway, but since then they had that fixed, and I haven't seemed to bother anybody. So SWR is not something that you really worry about too much. You do have to keep your radio happy though. So the built-in tuner in the radio will do a whole lot for you as well if you have an antenna that's really close. So I don't even bother with that. I have an external tuner, and that's when I use on those difficult ones. I do have a big loop that is not, the size of it is somewhere between 40 and 80. So, it works just fine on 10 meters with no tuner, believe it or not. But on 40 or 80, of course, I have to use a tuner. Okay, this is VE3 Bravo Kilowatt, and thanks for that. Larry, anything else, Larry?
Nope, if you do decide to go there, just drop me an email before next week, and I'll see if I can get in there with you, or I can pick you up on Monday night there.
Okay, roger that. And we can always, I'm with 2 clicks of a switch, I can go to 80 meters. I have to change, 3 things actually have to change, but I could test. If anybody wants to test that frequency with me, we can probably get Chuck or somebody to pick up the net just for the short period of time we'd be away. Anyway, we'll stay here for now, though. You've already proved it there, Larry, so that's good. And I think Chuck will have to stay where he is for the time being because of the YouTube stream. Anyway, this is VE3 Bravo Kilowatt for the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club, and it looks like we're reaching out in Ontario here a little better because I can actually hear myself on the SCR. It's pretty clear, no storms down that way, and I'm not hearing any. I didn't hear out west, and I never heard the guys from Venezuela there tonight. So this is V3 Bravo Kilowatt. Anybody anywhere, please
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Sierra Yankee.
You're coming in really good tonight there, Paul. So it's got to do with conditions for sure. Anyway, how are you, and Happy New Year?
Yeah, Happy New Year to you and to everyone on here who's listening. Really nothing much to say, nothing important. Conditions seem pretty good, and you're particularly strong tonight as well. You're a little bit more powerful than you normally are. And I also checked 80 meters. I heard rumor that you guys might move there. And there was a guy 2 kilohertz up that was just causing all manner of ruckus on dot 93. So I don't know if pick another type of frequency, find a better spot on 80 meters. But that one it gets polluted, Rick. Anyway, you can have a listen for yourself. Good evening, Larry. VA3CJZ Live.
Yeah, I think we had that trouble before with somebody being on 9.5. And anyway, the 9.3 I picked out originally. That was amongst club guys around here, around Hamilton. I picked that one originally because it was sort of in the middle of nowhere, and we didn't get an interruption. But if they'd keep talking on 95, we definitely got to find another spot. And it was the entourage frequency was suggested to me, but I haven't checked that out if anybody's on there at this time of night. What I should do is actually go there and have a listen at 8. Yeah, Larry, if you're still there, Larry, can you go to 3755 and see if anybody is on the frequency at the moment? Over. Okay, Larry may not be with us anymore. VA3LBI, are you still there? Okay, Paul, maybe you can check it out and see if anybody's on 3755. If you're getting swamped on from 95, that's kind of information I would like to know, because that frequency is not cut in stone. We can go anywhere. So it's just a thought. And tonight, actually the SDR is working okay, so there's really no reason to change over to another frequency 80. And I'm actually seeing myself on the SDR. I'm looking at it right now, like it's got a waterfall screen, and I can see myself on that. Paul, by the way, you're over the 9. You're 9+. You're just over the 9, about 5 units. So tonight is really good conditions. So back to you, Paul. VA3CJZ, VA3BK.
Yeah, it's strange how things go here. It's pretty humid, and it's +1, and we did have a tiny bit of rain earlier today. My antenna got wet, so doesn't really tune down to 3693. I can't quite make it that low in frequency. Gets to about 2.5 to 1, and then I just let the radio's antenna tuner handle the rest of that. But anyway, it's a pain in the ass to get all the way down there because the antenna is very sharply resonant, being such a short antenna. And I'll go listen another time, but on 80 meters, the higher you can go, the less noise is on the band. And I don't know if you can't pick a spot, 3,800 or 3,700, something like that in that region. That's my suggestion. Anyway, back to you.
Yeah, that's a good one. And can you go and check 3755? That's the entourage frequency. And again, we can maybe use that if it's not being used, and or we can maybe go to 3760. That's another one. And we used a contest in there 37, a little above that. We used a contest around 80, and that was pretty clear spot usually. So if you can go there and check for us, and they come back and give us a report. That'd be great, Paul.
Well, I can do that, but I won't do it tonight because it takes a long time to get the antenna there by manually tuning it and fiddle with things. So, but I'll check it out. You know, you can go all the way up to, what is it, 3.85 kind of thing before you get into slow scan TV stuff. But you can go quite high, 3.85. That gets you out of the meat of most of the single sideband transmissions that you find at 80 meters. So, I don't know, you'd have to experiment and see. But I'm not a club member, so I don't get any input here. I don't make the big decisions, Rick. You do. Back to you.
Yeah, but I need input, and that's what I was asking you. Yeah, because 3755, that's on-tires, that's the on-tires frequency during the daytime, but, it's just like 7100, different guys, different Canadian hams use that different times of the day, or different times of the night, when on-tires isn't on there. So, anyway. But yeah, well, this is more of an exercise to get on your HF radio and have some fun, and you don't have to be a club member to be here, as you know, so it doesn't really matter. Although I got myself in hot water kind of there for the contest site. There were some people that were thinking that our contest site belonged to the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club, and it didn't. It was private, and so anyway, we had people there that were non-club members, and then we had some criticism from club members. That we had people there using the club call sign that weren't club members. The general BS, politics. Anyway, we keep away from that. So it doesn't really matter anyway. So 3755, we'll stay here and then we'll go to 10 and later at 9 o'clock. Anyway, it looks like things are working pretty good. The SDR is actually working. It's actually clear. I hear a little bit of digital, but they're far enough away from us that it doesn't really matter. And most of our signals are getting there. The only one I couldn't hear down there was Dave, VA3DV. He checked in, and I couldn't hear him on the SDR too well. Of course, guys like Chuck and even Walt there were coming better on my local antenna. So anyway, but I could actually hear them on the SDR. Walt, not as good as what I could hear Chuck on there. So anyway, we are streaming live on YouTube as well. VA3CJZ has put us on YouTube, and anybody that's copying this net on YouTube, we have this net every Monday night for the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club from Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, located at the west end of Lake Ontario. And Chuck has streamed us on YouTube there for anybody that checked in. We also had a check-in from the YouTube stream from Jerry, V3 Victor Golf Hotel. So that was good. Okay, anybody else out there wants to check into the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club net, you do not have to be a club member. This is V3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Victor Alpha 3, November Foxtrot Golf. I just went to 3.755. Hopefully you're there.
Okay, thanks, Steve. So that's something we could maybe use. But right now, 7100 is working fine. And, to change our net over there, I gotta, notify people and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's good to hear you, Steve. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Rick. Happy New Year to you and to everybody on the net this evening. I'm just having an easy day here. that's okay. Just having an easy day here. I had to take the car into the garage. We've got a sensor going off with the transmission. It's the sensor that distributes the flow of transmission fluid into the clutch plate, I believe. But, this is, the price we pay to drive these convenient vehicles around. That's about it there, Rick. I don't have a lot of traffic here to report, other than it's nice to see positive temperatures on the thermometer there. It certainly beats -7. Back to you there, Rick. VA3CJZ VA3NFG.
VA3NFG, V3BK. Yeah, for sure. Well, my thermometer is in Fahrenheit still, and it was 36 degrees, and my wife's saying, oh, it's been really cold outside. You should put your winter coat on. I just put my jacket on that I like wearing all the time. It's more like a jacket sweater kind of thing. And I was outside and I worked up a sweat today because everything was melting. I think we got maybe 2 inches of snow that's hanging around on the ground. And somebody said it rained earlier, but I never saw that. If it rained, that was news to me. The snow was really wet though today. So how much snow have you got on the ground up there, Steve?
Not too much there, Rick. Not too much. Any snow that was on my vehicle has finally drained away with the precipitation that we've had the last couple days. You got snow over there?
Yeah, you held up there, I think, or something happened there. Anyway, the same with mine. I think it's all melted away. But on the ground, there was still a little bit. And when I first went out there, I forget what time it was, just after lunch, I guess. And, we still had 2 inches, but it was wet.
Yeah, it seems pretty wet out there. So what, are you thinking of going to 80 meters there in the evening on Mondays? Is that what you're wondering about, 80 meters?
Yeah, Roger. What's happened the last 3-4 weeks? What's happened is the band has gotten long, and it goes long right after Marty does this thing on 2 meters, and it goes long, and so I couldn't hear anybody on the SDR. I have an SDR monitor switch that V3KEX makes. Very nice job he does, and it works great. You gotta wire up a few cords and stuff like that to make it work and go between your computer, but I can hear you on either way. It's got a switch on it that I'm always switching back and forth, and I can hear you both locally and through the SDR. Of course, the SDR goes to the internet, and I'm listening to somebody else's radio, and the one I've been listening to is the one in Vermont, and you're coming in great. Now, so the last few weeks, though, the one in Vermont, I couldn't hear anybody. The band was too long, and I had to listen in Utah to hear anything, and the guys on here on this net actually tipped me off to that. So send me a link too. I think Chuck sent me a link to get on the Vermont, and so it's been intermittent. So anyway, we tried 80 meters. I tried with a VA3TAC in Tom and Barry's Bay, and that's near London, Ontario. And anyway, we tried it one night, Monday night, and I could talk to him fine, but I can't hear him. And also Bill, V3 Whiskey is good. He always checks in from Petrolia, and so tonight the band is working. I'm hearing you on the about a month. Anyway, so we were thinking about going to 80, back to 80. We were on 80 before. The only trouble with that is not everybody has an antenna for 80. So I'm looking for any input. So what do you think about the whole thing there, Steve? Go ahead.
Contact.
Well, I'm okay with 80. The only bands I'm not good with probably really is 160. Right before I keyed up, I don't know if I heard somebody there. I think I keyed down just as somebody started talking. So we'll let that station go ahead there. Station out there, go ahead. There's a VA3CJZ.
Yeah, VA3CJZ. Rick, I just wanted to give you another check-in for your log. Excuse me. From Georgia, we've got Kilo Echo 4 Romeo Delta Delta, and that's Gregory from Lumpkin, Georgia. Welcome, Gregory. And we're here every Monday night between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern, and thanks for joining us. Again, Rick, the call is Kilo Echo 4 Romeo Delta Delta. Back to you. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, almost reached the Echo. Kilo Echo 4 Radio Delta Delta. Well, okay, all right. Welcome to the net there, Gregory. And good that you tuned in on YouTube there. So if you want to chat, I don't have the YouTube stream on. Chuck is running in there, so Chuck can chat with you if you want to give us any other information. But that is good. I put you down here in our log, so it's just an informal type log here. It's we're just in it to have fun. We're not in it to break any records or nothing like that, Gregory. So thank you very much for being on YouTube. Okay, and we're going to carry on. I'm going back to back. So 80 meters is good for you, Steve. And okay, I've got a few positives for that, and we'll see. I think we'll put up another week there. Seeing that tonight it has not gone long. Before I was hearing the guys out west on the Aurora net, and I could hear them quite well. And I was also hearing guys from Venezuela or Brazil. I'm not sure where they were. They were talking foreign language. So that's on 7100 here. And all we could get is local people, basically. So, and other times we've had, when the band's been open, we've had PEI, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, South of Algonquin, Petrolia, and Barry's Bay usually in here. And then you never know, the odd American has checked in even though they're out of band. Here, they've actually checked in, and I don't really care because that's their rules they got to go by, not ours. So, anyway, if they have to check in here, I read them down. Anyway, that's it for me, Steve. There, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Well, you're seeing all that on your SDR. I don't have one running here. I do have a little gizmo here, a USB gizmo here that'll plug into the computer, but I haven't spent any time. Actually, I'm not even thinking about it. I also have a pan adapter for the 7300 that I still have not installed yet. So, yeah, it's just, I can't seem to get behind the 8-ball here and get everything done. Maybe when artificial intelligence takes over my job, I'll have a little more time on my hands to do that sort of stuff. But yeah, they are quite handy to have there. Can you not see the 80-meter bend right now on your SDR?
Oh, yeah, I could if I want to change it. Right now I'm listed on 7100, and I'm flipping back and forth, and you're coming in there really good, and it actually has a pad adapter on there, so I can see myself. In the last few weeks I haven't been able to see myself, but I could go to 80 on there and just listen locally, and do the same thing, do what you suggested. Yeah, I could go on there and see who's on there. That's a good idea. I never even thought about that, but I can actually do that. So, yeah, so the higher in the band, Larry says the higher in the band, the better. For everybody, probably even for Chuck for tuning up, you know, it could be better. So, but anyway, yeah, I'm tuning my loop. I got a loop around the perimeter of the roof. It's an idea that I came up with, and one of the guys who helped me put it up there. And that thing has been the greatest listening antenna. I don't want to put power to it, and I did by mistake once, and I blew the switch, and I've since changed that switch, but a Miracron switch, you know. So I got herd line going up the roof, and I got balance on everything, and this antenna I'm talking on right now is quarter wave. It's called a half sloper because the other half, the antenna, is actually the tower. So that's the way it works, and it has a balun on it, a homemade balun, 1-to-1. So I discovered, you know, when I first became a ham, baluns were a no-no. I didn't like the idea of a balun because I thought they were too lossy. And then, you know, but then it bothered my neighbors and everything else. That was back in the days of analog TV, and everybody had an antenna just about, unless you were on cable TV. So, you know, it would bother people. But now, since I got into baluns, you know, the more signal gets out of the antenna, I think, and I've had great success with those. So there's certain baluns you got to stay away from. They're cheap. You can buy a balun pretty cheap, but then the hardware on it, they rust out in 2 years, and it becomes useless. So, you know, like that's why I started making my own with stainless steel hardware on it and everything else. So the baluns I got up there right now, they've been up there for a number of years, and knock on wood, I haven't had any trouble with them there. Steve, over.
Yeah, roger that. Well, I guess you call that good luck, Rick. You got a bit of good luck happening. So you know what happens, eh? The more you talk about it, the more that could possibly go wrong with it. So that's probably part of the reason why I don't talk about what I want to do anymore, because it either never happens. Well, I shouldn't say never. It either doesn't happen, or it doesn't happen for a long time, or maybe doesn't happen at all. Yeah, I've got a couple of things I want to change around here too. Probably the biggest procrastinator in that, and lately I don't even procrastinate anymore. I'm trying a different strategy. I figure, well, maybe if I don't talk about it, then maybe I'll get on with it and finally put up some other types of antennas. I do have an old Hustler. I think it's a Hustler. What is it? A 3-section, it's from the 70s. 3-section ground-mounted vertical with the 2 cans or 3 cans? I forget. I haven't. It's in the furnace room here. I haven't looked at it in a while. I think there's 2 cans on there. I forget now. Anyways, I've got that to play with. I like to play a little bit with 6 meters. I don't know if there's going to be any or much 6-meter stuff going on. Oh, my SWR jumped up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what the outlook there. We're on the down spiral there as far as you know, the solar cycle, but you know, fingers crossed. Hopefully, it doesn't affect us in the traditional way that it does. But anyway, are you using the amp right now, Rick?
No, I'm not. 100 watts. That's it. I haven't been using the amp ever since I got the complaint from through the club from the Aurora Net. The guys out west said they could hear me, and I knew they were in there, but I couldn't hear them very good. But when I had the amp on, I guess they heard me pretty good.
Yeah, roger that. For sure. Well, you're doing somewhere between 30 and 35 over, as you should, because we're probably just about line of sight there. You know, height is might, but also is line of sight. So there you go. Yeah, sounds good. You're better. Your usual, nice loud audio and strong signal. So, that's too bad there that you're not able to use the amp as much as you want. But hey, if you don't need it, then why use it, right?
Yeah, exactly. The last contest I went without it. Yeah, which was strange for me, but you know what? It didn't matter. It didn't seem to make a difference. So, okay, anyway, we're at the top of our hour here, Steve, and usually what I do is I do a last call, see if anybody else is in there and wants to join in, and then we go to 10 meters and have a local ride-through, which we've been doing on 40. We go to 28-485, usually at 9 o'clock. But right now we'll do a last call out and see if anybody's there. So this last call for the Amateur Radio Club on Monday night. Anybody anywhere, if you want to check in, last call. Well, I don't hear anybody, and Steve, yeah, we had a few sayings at the contest site. Height is might, and so is size. And, of course, when we had the contest site, we could put up giant size antennas, and we did have a delta loop that was cut for 160. It was 250 feet between poles. A delta loop is a triangle, and boy, oh boy, that antenna worked on every band, and you could go on it without a tuner. It was, we had a piece of 75 ohm coax that would act like a transformer to make the radio happy, and that thing worked super. And unless you're in a farm or something, you're not going to be able to put up something like that. And even then, the poles and the guys were in the way sometimes for some of the work they did out there. But anyway, and what's the other thing? The other thing, we put up antennas in snowstorms, and we put them up in super cold weather. And you know what? When you put an antenna up in less than ideal conditions, it usually works the first time. Don't ask me why, but that's what we found anyway. And so we tried out many types of different antennas, even smaller ones that you would put on a city lot, and of course they were useless to us when we had all that real estate. But anyway, those are days gone by, and anyway, so we're going to migrate over to 10 meters, and you're more than welcome to come over there, Steve. Over.
Yeah, roger that there, Rick. I do have something to do here for a short time, and then I will probably make my way there up to 10 meters. Just one question there on that 75 ohm coax. What length of coax was that you used that was 75 ohm?
Okay, well, we actually had a long piece because all our antennas were way out in the field, and that was a long piece. So there's a formula. If you go on, I don't know, that was a few years ago I did that. If you go on the internet and look for lengths of of 75 ohm coax that will match antennas. We actually had a short piece of 75 ohm for the butternut, and that butternut we had a coil on it for 160, and the butternut was like 30 some odd feet in the air. We had a guy at. But anyway, if you do that, there was a formula that you could figure out what was the ideal condition for the frequency you were going to use. You know, so with that one, we actually got lucky. It wasn't 1-to-1, but it was more like 1.8 or something like that on every band, and so the bands were actually a little bit off there. If you wanted to get it, we'd have to play with it and trim it or whatever. And I did that back when I was on the chicken band a long time ago. I actually ran 75 ohm coax, and everybody told me I couldn't do that. Oh, you can't do that. It won't work. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did it, and I trimmed it, and I had a flat SWR, and I used a big stick at that time, and it was very harsh because my audio was pretty good, and so people thought I had an amplifier when I didn't. But anyway, those days gone by. So if you look up 75, what's the ideal length of 75 ohm coax for a 40 meter antenna? Something like that, and that AI will probably answer you accurately. But I know there was a formula that I used, and I don't know where it's gone now. Formula that I used to figure it out for a tri-band antenna and everything. What the idea, because we had 75 ohm hardline that was we bought it with a couple of cases of beer. And we used that, and it worked super. So anyway, okay, I'm going to go to 10, and you go do your job there, and some of the guys will probably be over there already. Anyway, and some nights not too much happens over there, but anyway, it's a more like your local rag true, not like what this is supposed to be in that. Anyway, so 73 there, and Happy New Year there, Steve. So we're clear with VA3 NFG, and this is V3 Bravo Kilowatt. We're going to now I'm getting tongue-tied. We're going over to 10 meters, 2845. So 73, that's the end of our net here. And YouTube, I don't know if Chuck turned it off or not. Anyway, Chuck, are you still there?
Yes, sir. Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Well, you can announce on there if you like that our YouTube stream is over, and we're going to go a local rag to 2845. So thanks for streaming the net for us there. And boy, I talked too much again. Here anyway, and if we get more check-ins maybe on that other frequency. So we're really going to consider it, but right now the SDR is working just fine. So the band conditions are different again, and it could be because of the weather we had today. Who knows?
Yeah. It's everything is a factor. You know, like you said before, you know, you can move an antenna 6 inches from where it was and have a completely different outcome. So anyways, yeah, I think I'll try and follow you guys over to 10 meters on 28.485 and see what's happening. I'd like to thank everyone who joined us on YouTube, and hope to see you again. Back to you, Rick, VA3CJZ.
Okay, this is V3 Bravo Kilowatt, and we're clear with VA3CJZ, and the YouTube stream will be shut down shortly. So 73, and we're going to 10 meters, 2845. So if anybody wants to join us there, we'll see you there. V3BK clear.
All right, I think maybe I'll do that. and switch over my antenna and see what's happening on 28,485. Thanks for joining us.
Okay, has anybody made it over here yet? V3 Bravo Kilowatt. Wow, you're good here too. Well, of course. Hey, I never did hear Kevin. You heard him right at the beginning?
Yes, sir. I think he was a little bit let down that a station couldn't hear another one only about a mile apart. So he did try once that I heard. He might have tried twice. I don't know, but yeah, he was there.
Yeah, well, the one time I listened to your YouTube stream, of course it was after the fact, right? But I heard him on there, but I didn't hear him here at all. So tell you, I never heard him either. Either somebody else was talking at the same time or whatever, who knows. But, yeah, anyway, so I heard him on there once, and that's it, once. So I guess he gives up easy.
Yeah, maybe. So, anyways, are we the only two here?
Yeah, hello? I heard somebody in the background. Somebody else there, go ahead.
Yeah, hello.
Oh, there's Walt. Yeah, hey, Walt, you're really good here, too.
Hello, Walt, VA3CJZ.
Hey, good evening, Chuck. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Tonight sure is a busy night for Nets there. I had to do one at 7 and then checked in with Marty, of course, and then with Rick, and now we're here. So I've been sitting in the chair for a while. Nice to see the temperatures are on the positive side and going to be warmer by the end of the week. Back to you.
Crazy weather, I know. It's crazy. Anyway, Happy New Year, everybody, just in case I forget, and all the best.
All right, Walt, and same to you. Happy New Year to you and your family. VA3CJZ. Back to Rick.
Yeah, Happy New Year there, Walt, if I forgot. And, yeah, I did that first and foremost on the 2 internet. But anyway, so, yeah, today I actually ventured outside and did some work outside a little bit there. And I couldn't believe how warm it was because my wife keeps saying how cold it is. And she's been taking the dog out to do his little thing. And, oh, yeah, hey, my dog is 6 years old now, Chuck. 6 years old in December. So, he still likes to play, though, and he gets mad if I don't pay attention to him.
Oh, yeah, it's all about attention there, my friend. And it's so cute to see most animals when they see the first snow of the season there. I know dogs usually get pretty excited. I don't know about cats, but the puppies sure like it.
Oh, yeah, he goes out there and he plays in the snow and he rolls around it and he loves it. Comes in with snow, and I end up with snow in my living room. My wife wipes his feet, but yeah, I've actually had snow up his fur coat there. He loves it. He doesn't seem to mind the cold at all. But anyway, yeah, he still likes to play. Even at 6 years old, he likes to play, and he gets mad at me when I don't pay attention to him all the time. Or I have my old man nap after supper sometimes, and he wants to play then.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't matter if you're relaxing. They're ready. So, yeah, I know I want to get another one there maybe this springtime. So I'm not sure how old, if it's going to be a puppy or one that's a little bit older, but middle of winter is not a good time to get a new dog, I think.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, well, there was a lot of dogs that were adopted that were misplaced because of storms or whatever. There was quite a few of them, and some of them were really good dogs from what I hear. But anyway, I had the word out for you, but nobody I know is giving away dogs. Everybody wants to make money, and so you get a dog, even if he's a Heinz 47, you got to pay for him. That's what it looks like anyway.
Yeah, you're right, Rick. It sure looks that way. I think the trick is to look in the paper or online, I guess, for people out in the country, that have farms and whatnot, and they can't keep an entire litter of dogs, so they happily give them away. They usually don't want money.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea. Well, we had one dog given to us, and we've had quite a few dogs over the years, but this one dog, he was inbred, and his siblings, most of them all died. They died after a year or so. He lasted quite a while, and he didn't last 20 years or nothing like that. We actually had a German Shepherd that lasted that long. He was a funny one, but and we didn't go for shots. We didn't have him licensed all the time. That's when we were younger and couldn't afford nothing. And we even had somebody come over here once, and he wasn't licensed. And the boys took him to the grocery store, and the oldest boy went in to get whatever his mom wanted, and my other son, he stayed outside with the dog, and this guy came up and put his hand on my son and said, "No, a nice dog you got there." Well, in the meantime, the dog tore his jeans really good, and he had the nerve to ask me for jeans, and I said, "No way, you shouldn't have gone anywhere near the kids with one of the dogs there."
Yeah, I mean, some people, they don't think about the entire event, what caused it, and it's their fault, right? They think that you owe them something for having overstepped your son's personal space, and the dog is automatically going to be a protector. I mean, even ankle biters will give it a go.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, this was a German Shepherd. That's what I lasted till he was 21. Yeah, unbelievable. Most of my other shepherds, we took them in to the vet regularly. They had their shots and everything else. And I had two shepherds that had hip dysplasia. And the one was a purebred. I paid good money for him. And I even got a certificate saying that he was okay. Yeah, but when he got older, he got it. And, he was getting really fed up on himself, and so I put him down, and he was ready for it. That was really hard to do, because he was a good dog. He was a good dog, but he didn't like it. I had to hold him up by his tail. His tail was like a baseball bat, and I used to hold him up by the tail to take him outside so he could do his job, whatever. And, I don't think he really liked that either. But he was, 8 or something like that, 8, I think. But anyway, Butcher, that's the one we had that was inbred, and he lasted longer than any of his siblings. And I can't remember what got him. I can't remember how old he was either. But he was somewhere around there. I think he was around 8 or 10. Something like that. I couldn't believe it. He's the one that we had a cat at the same time. And yeah, if I talk too much, tell me. Anyway, we had a cat at the same time, and this cat got pneumonia or something. And this cat was an outdoor cat. He wanted to go outside so bad. And finally, I thought he was getting better, so I let him go outside. Well, he went outside. Next thing I know, the dog's howling, and what the heck's going on? So I went outside, and the dog was an outside dog, and that was Butcher. And I looked in the doghouse. Here's a cat died in the doghouse, and that was his buddy. They were friends. The cat and the dog were friends, and the dog let us know that the cat passed away. So that's a long time ago, but that is a really cute story.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, listen, a few days ago, I was listening on 40 meters, and I heard two guys talking, and one fella asked the other one, how's your dog? And the other guy comes back and says, well, I had to put the dog down. He goes, that was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It was just too old and was in pain. And he goes, that's right around the same time my wife left me. And he goes, you know what, Johnny? I forget the guy's name, but he goes, it was harder to put my dog down than it was to watch my wife pack up and get the hell out.
Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, well, when I had to put Wolf down, that's a purebred German Shepherd. He weighed over 200 pounds. No, wait, how much did he weigh? Yeah, he was right up there. He was a big dog, pretty big, and yeah, but boy, when I put him down, boy, that hurt. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, well, you never know what you're going to hear on the air, you know, and sometimes you can pick up some really useful tips on antennas and stuff, you know, too. You hear guys talking, and sometimes you can join in and talk to them. Hams are usually a good bunch.
Oh, absolutely, Rick. You can pick up some really good tips. So listening is always recommended. I know I do my share of listening quite a bit. So anyways, I don't want to hog up the frequency. Maybe there's some other people in there that want to say hi. So I'll take a standby there, Rick, VA3CJZ.
Yeah, who else is out there? We got Walt out there. We know we got Walt. Who else is out there? Anybody?
VE3CSY. I have finally made it here.
Ah, right. Yeah, well, what the heck now? I must not have this thing pointed. Is that any better there, Paul?
I can hear you fine, Rick. Don't worry.
Okay, yeah, I moved it 2 to 3 degrees, and it made a difference. There you go. So you were off, I'm basically pointing down that way. I'm pointing east. Anyway, so that's good. So anyway, we're talking about animals, Paul. I don't know if, yeah, Chuck lost his dog, and yeah, I've had a variety of dogs, and yeah, so we're going to have stories about them, but I used to have cats, too. I used to have cats all the time. First cat that I can remember, you know, she had her litter underneath my bed first thing in the morning, and I'm waking up to the screaming, and I thought, what the heck, I've never heard that before. It was her kitten screaming.
Well, you and I have not discussed that sort of thing before, but, you know, cats, in my opinion, cats are useless creatures. They don't do anything for you. Excuse me. And they take up your resources. Suddenly I've got a frog in my throat now.
Yeah, I know. Well, cat, that's why my wife was a dog person, and, you know, she never got along with any of her cats too well. There's only the one cat that I was telling the story about dying out in the doghouse, and our dog went out there and howled. It was his buddy died in the doghouse, and that's the last cat that we had. And, you know, so So the one cat I had when I was a kid, we tried to take to our house when I got married, when me and Pat got married, and it just wouldn't adjust. It was too old. And that cat was something like 21, I think 22 when she died, and she had 9 lives. She got hit by a car once, and we brought her back to good health. But yeah, cats have their own way of doing things. The dogs are much more enjoyable. And the only thing I gotta watch with I like the shepherds, and the shepherd you gotta watch. He's really a family dog, and you gotta be careful on who you let near him. Because like Mark was over here once, and Wolf, that was our purebred. Mark got along with him, but Mark, sort of teased him a little bit with the treat, and so he ended up Mark in half. So I never really trusted that dog.
Comment.
I don't have any pets, never did. They're an expense that I just never wanted to afford. I don't have an apartment, so, it's inconvenient to have pets in the apartment. But lots of my friends do, so I enjoy their pets. And when I get sick of them, I just go home.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's amazing how dogs know whether you're a good guy or not. So, yeah, I had a pit bull. There was a lady that lived near us here. Had a pit bull, and, they were banning them at the time, but she still had this pit bull. It was female, and boy, oh boy, that dog, I always carried treats in my pocket, for our dog, and, that dog came right up to me and liked me, and I gave her a treat, and boy, I was her buddy from then on. And anytime I was outside and the dog walked by, they had to come over and see me. So it's amazing how that happens. Anyway, let's see if Walt's got any experience with animals. Walt, are you still there?
Oh yeah, I'm here. And experience, yeah. I had pets, and now I don't have pets, and I like not having pets now. Pets are tie you down. You gotta either, if you want to go somewhere, you gotta get someone to look after the thing, or, yeah, no, I had my pets. I'm done.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, and that has been a problem, too. Yeah, that's why cats mostly were outside. And so that's when you could leave a cat on its own. Forget about it, put some food at the back. But the dogs, you don't do that with the dog. You got to put them in a kennel. You got to get somebody to take care of them. And I remember we did that one time, and the dog got really, really sick. And the guy that was here taking care of the dog didn't know what to do. And we ended up cutting our vacation short. And later on, I had another German Shepherd that was poisoned. So I think this dog got a dose of poison, but it came out of it. That was Butcher, by the way, though, that Heinz 57 dog I had. He was a free dog, and he was one of the best.
I'm not really a cat person. Dogs, yeah, but cats, no, not much.
Yeah, well, lots of people have. I never had any luck with goldfish. I tried goldfish. They always died on me. I fed them too much or something. So the easy pets that take care of like that, we did have some for a while, but they never lasted. Yeah, anyway, so Chuck, looks like you may have trouble. Chuck, I was going to ask you about your radio. Is it back ordered, or where'd you order from the guy out west? VA3CJZ V3VK.
VA3CJZ. Yes, Rick, I want to get it from GPS Central. They did have it in stock at Radio World, but since I have not been too impressed with the service there at that store, I think my money is better spent elsewhere. And the thing is, GPS Central has them on back order, so I'm not about to put down money until I see that it says that they're in stock, and then I can be sure that it'll be paid for with shipping within 1 to 2 days.
Oh, so have you guys ordered there from GPS Central?
Oh no, like I said, quite the opposite, Rick. I won't order it unless it's in stock. I'm not about to put money down and wait. I'll wait at home with money in my bank, and when it says that they're in stock, then I'll order it.
Yeah, we talk about Radio World. I just noticed that Radio World's got 7,300 on sale. I don't know when their sale ends, but it was $1,500 and some odd dollars. And you know what? I'll bet you it's the old one. They're selling out the old one, the Mark II. You know, if you talk to any of the guys from the States, and they all want Mark II. They want the Mark II 7300. It's got all the extra features on it. It's a better radio.
Yes, I actually heard a couple of guys today, I think on 7100. One guy said he had one. So yeah, the $1,500 one is the original, and the Mark II is going for $2,100 or $2,199. I'm not sure. And the sale ends at the end of this month. And so, like I said, not impressed with Radio World in Toronto. I'd rather wait for GPS Central to have them out in Calgary. And if you look online, which I did, and the reviews for the Calgary store are far better than the ones in Toronto. And so, from what I had heard, it looks like there is better service from out west.
Yeah, that's quite a possibility. I've heard that before too. And I know when they had a service tech, he was a bit of an asshole, that guy. You know, I had some radio service there, and then when I sold that radio to somebody else, and had a good track record of being serviced and everything else, and lined up by Radio World. And so he took it to Radio World, and they said, "Oh, we don't do that anymore. Your radio's too old. Oh, here, we'll sell you a used one." Yeah, right. Yeah, well, look what they did to Art, you know, them guys. They sold him 2 extra radios he didn't need.
Yeah, that's a big chunk of change, but he did get some good radios. But yeah, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, well, that Yaesu radio he's got, you know, like I found it difficult. I'm not used to Yaesu, so I did start out with the Yaesu, but this radio, you know, it's got menu on menu, and you know, just to change the power output, you got to go into the menu and you have to look up what number it is and all that. You know, it's not easy, like on the front, change the power while you're going and change your filters or whatever. Like that's what like I got. Now this radio I got here, though it has menus in it, but you know, like any of the stuff that you would use every day, like your squelch or whatever, or not your squelch or gain, that kind of stuff. You know, it's all on the front of the sub. But then, then I'm used to the old radio, so there you go. Like I could tune up a tube radio, and not everybody can do that. Oh, I got a story about that in field day too. 20 meters. These guys were calling, and nobody could hear them, and they weren't doing too good on 20 meters, and they had a tube radio. And I think it was a Yaesu 101, or the equivalent Kenwood. I forget. But anyway, so I said, well, let me have a look. I said, did you tune it up? You know, did you tune it? I said, oh yeah, we tuned it the way we went by the recommended settings in the book. That's all they did. They did the recommended settings. So, so anyway, I tuned up the radio for them, and next thing you know, they're working guys left and right, and they were getting no power out. They weren't being heard. That's all it was. So, but anyway, that was the tube radio. So there, I aged myself. Tube radios were something else at one time, but you know, these new radios like that 7300 is really good. So what kind did you order there, Chuck?
All right. Well, first of all, I did not order it yet, Rick. It has to be in stock for me to order it. I will not pre-order. So, number one. So I'm waiting for it, and it's the Yaesu FT1 or FTX1 Optima, and of course that's the one that has the 100-watt linear with it. So I'm more likely to use it as a base than as a field radio. But if I ever want to disconnect it and go maybe in the backyard, and I would use the field option there in the summertime. And so, and you know what? That new Mark II, the 7300 Mark II, looks good. The only thing it's missing is I don't have a dedicated UHF VHF radio. So I like the fact that the Yaesu has everything in it, and 50 watts on UHF and VHF. And so that's really appealing. Now, the features on the Mark II are very appealing as well. So you never know. Maybe after tax time, there might be some extra coin for an ICOM. And speaking of which, the menu systems, the architecture for both radios are completely different. I've never owned an ICOM, so I'm quite familiar with the Yaesu menu system. And so it carries on into the newer radios as well. And I don't have any problems because I'm very used to it. So anyways, why don't we bring in Paul and have his thoughts on that VE3CSY, VA3CJZ.
Well, as a current Yaesu owner and a previous Yaesu owner, I still own a Yaesu FT470 handheld. Very common thing back in the late 90s. Sorry, early 90s, anyway. Yaesu was pretty crap with their menu systems. That FT470 is a nightmare to navigate, but the modern radios have a very flat menu system, pretty easy to understand if somebody explains it to you. The ICOMs, they use a sub-menu system, and it's a little more difficult, but like anything, you get used to it too. And the 7300 is a fine radio. Even version 1 is fine. You don't need all those extra. Well, if you look at the differences, some of the features are more hype than they are, to help you with it. So, so that's my opinion on this stuff. So back to you, Rick, and can hear what everybody else says.
Yeah, okay, Chuck. My apologies for that. I forgot that you said you hadn't ordered it, or you were waiting until they have it in stock. I don't blame you. Yeah, because that one radio that Art ordered, he waited a year and a half for it. So the factory decided to change the design or something. Anyway, and I was going to say that Paul is the one to ask on the audio, because he helped, I'm pretty sure he helped Walt set up his audio on the Yaesu. So they're different animals for sure. And there's a lot more controls on the Yaesu. And one thing, I owned the Yaesu, and one thing I noticed about the Yaesu, the received seemed to be hotter. So, like, you could hear stuff that you might not even hear on the ICOM. And I've heard this with different radios, not just ICOMs, but I've heard that with different radios. We'd be on the air, and saying, well, can you hear this guy? I think this has happened to you on Wednesday night. Everybody, certain people can hear everybody everybody, and other people can't hear only the strong ones. So, you know, I think that has something to do with the radios. And I think Yaesu has always had a hot receive, a good receive. And the only complaint I had one Yaesu I owned was the receive seemed to be too hot because it would somebody that would be close to you, they would swamp you so bad you couldn't hear anybody else. So maybe I just didn't know how to work it though. That could be because I'm sure there's filters you can filter that kind of stuff out. So let's turn over to Walt. Walt, have you got anything to say about this? The Yaesus I think are pretty good.
Well, this is a 991A. I'm pleased with it. As far as the receive's concerned, there's like 3 preamps, right? So, I mean, you can mess with those within the menu system. Yeah, Paul helped me out a lot actually figuring this radio out and getting through the menu systems and actually getting it to a point where the audio was, it's decent audio.
Well, it's all what you get used to, you know, like the menus, once you learn them, then, you know, you could probably change stuff pretty quick.
Well, now, yeah, I mean, I've played with it for a while, but, I mean, when I was first getting into it, I was lost. If Paul didn't point stuff out for me, I would have probably, yeah. But anyway, well, it's like anything, right? Once you spend time with it, and once you get going through the menus and everything, I mean, you can eventually figure it out.
Yeah, well, the icons, I think a lot of the audio stuff was done right at the factory when Bob Howe was involved in audio stuff. I hear quite a bit. I think that's why he was pro Icom, I think.
No, I'm pretty sure that the new 7300 has every single setting that the Yaesus do. It's all parametric equalizers and different bands and stuff, Rick.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, it's all much you used to. And, you know, even this radio, I'm discovering stuff I didn't know I had, you know, that's in the menu that I never experimented with before. So I played with some of that. Like, I got a scope. I don't have a waterfall. I got a scope. And I found out there's a hold button that I didn't know that you could turn the hold on so that it stays there for a couple seconds. So you can tell where the signal was, and you can roll over to where that signal was, find out who it is. But with the waterfalls, like Marty, he's so good at reading the waterfall, he can tell you what mode it is. You know, like, so that is pretty good. And since I've been looking at the waterfalls on the SDRs, because I don't have any radio with a waterfall, you know, I can see what he's talking about. Different kinds of mode produce a different types of display on a waterfall, so you can almost tell what it is. So these radios with the waterfall are really useful too.
Well, the waterfall display is the historical record of the band plan, right? The band scope that you see the carriers on. That's all that is. The more modern Yaesu DX10 has a 3-dimensional waterfall display with the spectrum. It's really cool. And it really shows carriers in there. Even better than the 2D type stuff. But all the modern radios have that, and now yours doesn't. And mine, I have a little spectrum display thingy here, and I could turn a waterfall on with it, but mine's a joke because it's only got a single receiver and a very, very tiny window for the display. Very poor resolution. Now, with regard to Walt's radio and Mark's got the flex, which is the whole thing, the ICOM 7300, they have a digital front end, so they sample digitally and then create a constant stream of bits, high-resolution bits for the band plan, and then do some digital processing, and then finally convert it to analog for the rest of the chains. Mark's just goes through completely digital, but all of these advantages that you are pointing out right now, Mark has been enjoying for, well, more than a decade now.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the way it is. But, you know, like, I spent some time teaching with Marty, And you know what? Like some of the newer hams, they haven't got a clue what any of this stuff is. Until they've been a ham for a while, and they investigate stuff. And like we saw a lot of new hams that didn't know how to even tune a radio, like those guys that didn't know how to tune a tube radio. Like, I mean, that's just an example, and that's a poor example actually. But like some of the stuff that the Yeezys will do. Like boy, you're just bringing up that 3D. Wow, that's fantastic. Like I haven't seen it, and I'm sure it would be good, and I could adapt to something like that. But whereas the new guy, well, maybe they adapt faster. I don't know. Maybe I'm blowing smoke here, but I think some of the new hams they buy a new radio and they say, "Holy, what am I getting into here?"
Well, I think that younger people are far more acclimated to digital displays, and I mean, with the cell phones being what they are, and computers and tablets and laptops and yada. So, I think that if you want to attract a younger crowd of ham, then you have to make them appeal to the more modern digital radios with digital displays and stuff. Now, let me ask you a question, because I don't know, and you guys, all of you, can answer this maybe, I'm not sure, but I'm going to put this question out there, right? Of all the ham courses that these guys hold, right, how many of them teach digital screens? How many of them teach spectrum analyzers? How many of them teach waterfall displays? I would like to know.
Well, from my experience, we never taught it.
Mine also.
Same here. It's all, it's not up to par with today's technology, that's for sure. The VA3CJZ.
So what the questions that they were asking on their exam had nothing to do with the digital display or waterfalls or anything, so we didn't cover that.
Yes, that's my point. And yeah, I heard you completely. You covered up Rick completely there, Chuck. And so that's kind of my point, see guys, that, look, the classes that they hold, I mean, yeah, aside from the insanity of trying to bring back CW, which is never going to happen, no matter how much the old guys wish it, it's not stepped into the modern world. Look at these 7300, the screen on a 100 is a piece of art. I mean, it's just beautiful. I played with one before they were even for sale to the public. Radio World had a demonstrator model, and I sat there for about 5 minutes and spun the dial on a 7300. So I beat all of you to even looking at one or touching one. I love the little radio. It's a wonderful deal. Even the Gen 1s, the Mark 1s, whatever the hell they call the first ones at $1,500 is quite a steal. You get a lot of radio for your buck. But there are no classes that teach that. There are no classes that teach what this means. There are no classes that teach digital, are there?
Yeah, exactly. Nope. And yeah. Well, hey, we always told them you learn more after you become a ham than you actually do to pass the exam. So anyway, Chuck, go ahead, whatever you were saying.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that from what I understand, the courses nowadays don't even, they might touch on it, but they won't explain anything or go into any detail about the modern technology that's available nowadays. Like, for example, this new Yaesu radio that I'd like to get, it's an SDR transceiver. And so, like you said earlier with the hot receive on it, I've read and watched videos that really find it an exceptional receive on that radio. And so, yeah, the ham courses nowadays, they just give you enough to get you started, and the rest you pretty much got to learn on your own or through others.
Well, I think a lot of it's outdated. They should update their requirements, maybe, or maybe the course itself.
Well, I don't think there's a set course per se. I think all the clubs and the regions kind of handle their own sort of training. But I'm just speaking more to if the goal is to attract a younger crowd, then they're interested in computers and screens and code and digital communications, things like that, right? That's how you attract a younger crowd, in my humble opinion. But I don't see it being taught. I don't see it being displayed. You know, you got guys with Morse code keys on display. Give me a break.
You bring up a good point there. You know, the government is setting the exams and everything, and you know how fast they move. So, like, I'm thinking that maybe after your ham, there should be a class to teach you how to do digital or teach you how to read the waterfall, stuff like that. You know, stuff that you might learn from an Elmer or somebody else that you hang around with. You might learn a little bit, but if they had a class, it'd probably be a lot more accurate and be more up to date on digital stuff and things like that you would learn after your ham. And don't forget, there's so many aspects of ham radio that different guys are into different things. So, you know, like then, you know, you find out what your students are interested in, and maybe have another class just for that, not for passing an exam.
Hey, listen, guys, while there's an opening there, I just want to say I'm going to be taking off. So it's been a pleasure chatting with you guys. It's been a full night of radio. I've been at it since at least 7 p.m., so I got to go take care of a few things, and hope to talk to you guys soon. And Rick, I'll be sure to remember and check in with you tomorrow between 3 and 4 on 7.100. And thanks again. Yeah, we'll talk then. VA3CJZ.
Yeah, that's Thursday. Yeah, for sure. Okay, well, thanks for streaming on YouTube for us. And yeah, I don't know. I still haven't decided on what. You know, tonight I was hearing stuff on the SDR, and those guys that I haven't heard for the last month or so. They never came in there, so they never even bothered to check. I would say I would have heard them tonight. I'm pretty sure, because some of the guys were strong on the SDR. And one thing I don't know, maybe you can tell me before you go, the radios that have SDR built into them. Now, just what is that? Is that are they going on the internet to listen to somebody else's radio, or are you describing the method of the digital signal, the way they turn the signal from digital into audio?
Well, you know, I think maybe Paul could probably answer that better, but all I know is it's SDR technology put into a transceiver, so you'll have the exceptional receive on there, and of course the technology that they use for transmitting. Let's send it over to Paul there, and I'll hang out for another couple of minutes, and I'll say goodnight.
Yeah, all right, Chuck, and if I don't talk to you again, have a very good evening. SDR, software-defined radio. I mean, Flex was the first common radio that was on the market. That was a fully software-defined radio. What that means is that they take the RF coming in, and they put it into a sampler. So this is a field programmable gate array, FPGA, and it samples the RF spectrum very quickly, digitizes it, puts it into a digital stream. And these are, just think of these as slices in time, Rick, of the whole band plan that it tunes. All right, and then once you have samples of the RF spectrum over time, you can do amazing things with it in the digital domain. So you can define it digitally. That's why they call it a software-defined radio, because you use software to control all the little digital bits. You can make infinite filters. You can make infinite shaping of the signals and delay. You can do just about anything in the digital domain. And that's what makes this very special, the way you do it. So some of the radios, like the 7300, just have one FPGA, and it does the wide band scope, and it also does the narrow portion for the receiver. Yaesu improves on that, and they use two FPGAs. They use just a cheaper one that does the wide bandwidth for your band scope and your waterfall, and then it uses a special higher cost narrowband FDR, so it samples a very narrow part of the spectrum that you're tuned to. So you get higher resolution and better noise and all that good stuff. But in the end, you have to convert it in the last step of the chain. You have to convert it back to an analog signal at some point, because we don't understand digital. I mean, our ears don't understand digital. So Mark's radio, the Flex, goes all the way to the very last little bit and then converts it to audio and puts it in the speaker. The radios like Yaesu's have and the ICOM 7300 converts the audio back to analog a little sooner than that, goes through the IF strip and then onto the audio sections. The transmitter basically works in the reverse, but it does use the digital portion of the processor for voice control, compression, and all that stuff. Finally converts it to an analog signal, puts it into the main transmitter, and off you go. You get a nice, analog signal, FM, single sideband, CW, whatever, right? So it's the radio has a software-defined radio, a digital front end, and the rest of it is standard stuff.
Well, okay, thanks for that explanation. I actually understood that. Yeah, because like at work they were doing the digital thing a long time ago, and taking a little bit. I understood digital way back when they actually did that. Nobody really knew what they were doing on the phone systems. Like when they did it. But that, all that stuff is ancient too. But that's what they did, and I actually saw laser display. So we're talking about our light here. I actually saw laser display back in the early '60s in high school, and they actually did it on the up on the stage here. They actually sent a signal through a light, and but again, that's different too. So, but the digital, the analog, digital to analog, yep. I'm surprised that the radios aren't better than they're getting really, really good. But I'm surprised they didn't do it sooner. I guess the manufacturers move slow. They're into this digital phone that Mark's been playing with, digital phone signal, and that's where it's all digital. I think it's converted to analog at the end, just so you can understand it's the same thing you were talking about. But anyway, that explains the radio a little better to me. Anyway, Chuck, if you're still there, 73, and we'll talk to you again. So over to you, Walt. Walt must, Walt, you still there? I guess he's away from the radio. Yeah, anyway, Chuck, 73, if you're still there.
Okay, Rick, Paul, and whoever else, 7-3 for now. VA3CJZ.
Yeah, anyway, that was a good description there, Paul. And, I kind of thought that's what they were doing, but I wasn't sure because I never read the specs on an SDR radio. I never looked at it to see what it was. Now, the old analog, way back when, back in the 80s when I got my license, they had triple conversion and quadruple conversion, but it was all analog, and so with each conversion, it got rid of some noise. So, some radios were better than others, but it was a completely different design. So the way they're doing it now, like they're doing it with digital. They're not doing it with IF stations.
That's the beauty of if you can digitize the spectrum at a fast enough rate, then you can get the necessary resolution to make that quite viable, and that's how they've been doing this. The field programmable gate arrays are not new technology, but what's new is that it's so cheap now to build a chip that has the power to be able to do that. So it was availability of hardware at an economical cost that really held back that kind of an advancement. But that's one type of architecture for a receiver, right? I mean, you're quite familiar with the heterodyne or the super heterodyne, where you have, 1, 2, or maybe 3 different IF frequencies that it gets converted to throughout the chain, right, for filtering purposes and whatnot. But, well, can you remember what the first radio topology for a receiver was? It's going back even before you were born.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. They didn't do it that way. I don't know. I don't know the way they did it.
TRF. Before, crystal radio, of course, you just had a tank circuit and a diode and a pair of high impedance headphones. That's the old crystal radio. But I mean, the first powered radios were TRF radios, tuned radio frequency radios. They used to call them coffin radios, and you all saw them with equal big knobs across the front of a big wooden box, right? And they're all the same size knobs, and they're all equally spaced apart. There may be 3 sections, maybe 4. And how they worked was they just had RF amplifiers, basically one RF section with a tube amp, and then it just went to another RF section. You had to tune all these things when you changed frequency. And at the very end, they would put it through a diode detector and maybe an audio amplifier and a pair of headphones. So they were called tuned radio frequency. They didn't do anything except convert RF, boost it, and then detect the audio. That was the earliest days of receivers.
Yeah, so isn't technology wonderful? They come a long way, really.
Well, next up was the heterodyne receiver, right? Where they figured out that if they introduced a local oscillator into the signal, that they could extract one of the products of this, the intermediate frequency, as it were, okay? And so that intermediate frequency, which is now much lower in frequency, you can pass it through a strip of amplifiers that have much tighter skirts, much tighter filters. So you have a bunch of IF amps, lots of tuning and filtering in there, and then finally it goes through the detector, turns into audio, and then to the audio amplifiers, now to headphones or speaker. So the super het, and then they figured out, well, we could do a double conversion where we could say convert it higher than the band and then lower than the band, and we could get rid of a lot of the spurious harmonics and other things that the adjacents pick up, right? So you get triple convert. I don't know. I think your radio, I think that's 756. I think that's a triple conversion receiver, is it not?
I don't know if it is or not. I know my 735 was, but this one I don't know. Like, I have a noise reduction. This is completely different. And this one here has a roofing filter in it that's been added. So, it actually filters too good at times. When it makes some guys on site, man, if I make it so narrow, they sound like Donald Duck or something. I had to learn how to turn the filters off on this thing. Because the radio, I bought this off Tony RZ, V3RZ, and he used it mostly on CW. And man, is this thing ever tight on CW. So But anyway, I'm not sure that's why I like this radio. But, you know, I've used the 7300 quite a bit, and, you know, at field day and stuff, and I couldn't get over how it received interference. You know, like we were on 40 and we were getting interference from a guy on 15. And, you know, like they're multiple whatever, and I don't think we should have been able to get it, but it's quite possible. Like me, I didn't know that much about it, and the guys who radio it was, I don't think he was still learning the radio, so I don't think there's probably some way we could have fixed that. But yeah, anyway, I wasn't too impressed with 7300 at that time. But I've used 7300 since then, and they seem to work pretty darn good. So, you know, I don't know. It depends on where you are. And field day is really a really good workout for some of these radios. You find out how much interference they get from the other bands. But, you know, anyway, nothing's perfect. But this digital, oh boy, it's come a long way. And, you know, like, so that's what a software-defined radio means. It's using digital technology, and that's what we used to use at work a long time ago. They would take a little piece from here, a little piece from there, and a little piece from over there, and put it all back together, and, you know, you wouldn't know the difference.
Well, look, it's not so much that they are, you know, creating a new world. They're just processing the RF coming into your receiver in the digital domain. So they could say, using fast Fourier transform, they can slice the band apart, and they could say, you know what, there's a carrier at, say, 5,000 hertz off the center or something like that. So we're going to pass 4,999 hertz, no problem, but we're going to completely eliminate 5,000 hertz. I mean, you can make the filters that sharp in a software-defined radio. That's why Mark's Flex is almost infinitely adjustable for bandwidth, digital noise reduction, the whole bit. Now, the radio I got here, this is a fully analog radio. This rig is 1200. This is a dual superhet, so it's got different IF frequencies in here. But it still takes the audio and processes that for speech processor use, for transmitter use. And it also, in the receive chain, it converts it to digital so that it can apply the digital filtering techniques with them. And this radio has got the same chip that your radio's got and all the other radios got. It's a very, very, very good digital signal processing chip. But, you know, you have to know the settings. You have to know how to set up the receiver, the right. Some people maybe use a little too much RF, don't attenuate the input enough, etc., etc. So I got roofing filters in here, fully adjustable. It has 3 different ones, 3K, 6K, and 15K roofing filters. All at the press of a button on the front. I don't have to go into any menu. So, like I say, the modern radios have a lot of tweaks and a lot of adjustments, and maybe the one that you saw in the field day there, the guy just didn't have it set up right.
Yeah, that's quite possible. Yeah, well, this Yaesu here, yeah, same thing. I can fully adjust the. Well, that's why I like the ICOM, because I didn't know you could do that with some of the Yaesu. But you know, you can fully adjust the filters, and you can cut off one side and everything. It's pretty fantastic the way it works. And with that infrared filter in there, that makes it even better, you know. But, well. Anyway, I don't know if there's anybody, I don't know if anybody else has joined us here. Steve never showed up, so. But anyway, yeah, well, the new radios, I should sell my old radios. I got too many old radios. And they work pretty much all the same way. And this one here is my favorite, actually. I've got a Pro 3, but it's stock. It's not, the filtering on it's not as good as this one. The difference is not very much as far as menu and all the rest of the stuff goes. So, you know, there's really not that much gain or difference in it, you know. But it's all technology. Like somebody said, well, your radio's 30 years old. Well, yeah, pretty much it is. And most of the older radios are older than they were because of the technology. That, like, even the manufacturers are slow to adapt. And that digital voice that Mark's been playing with, you know, like, when are they going to bring that out in the radio? You know, so that you can do it without too much trouble. You know, and it's right in the radio built in. You know, that'll be next. So DMR, you know, I never got really hot on DMR like people are using DMR a lot. It was designed for business, you know, really. And you know, I can't get too excited about DMR because it goes through the internet and everything else. You know, I think it's gonna probably go the way of the dodo, if you know what I mean. Yeah. And CW, you're absolutely right about the CW. You know, there's still a lot of people using it, but it's gonna go away eventually. You know, the guys that are using it are not quit. They're gonna either quit using it or they're gonna die off. So, and you're absolutely right too about to attract younger people. You have to have something that's you know, the digital, like that digital display, that 3D display. That's fantastic. I didn't know the Yaesu had that. But anyway, yeah, that'll be good. Anyway, so the Yaesu that Chuck is looking at, is that the latest technology as far as Yaesu goes? Like, you know, it comes with a 100 watt amp, so it's really a low power deal, and you amplify it, but it sounds like it's got everything you would want there. Do you know anything much about the DX1 Optimal or Option, whatever it's called?
No, I'm not familiar with that new model, but Yaesu's released a couple of new models lately, and, you know, to fend off the new releases coming out of ICOM. Kenwood doesn't seem to be much participating in any of this anymore. Linko's got some new offerings, too. I think you may be a little confused about DMR, Rick. DMR is just a modulation technique. You can do simplex DMR, just handy-talkie to handy-talkie DMR modulation. It works just fine. You can encrypt it as well and have your own private little channel and not go anywhere near the internet. So DMR, like I say, is just a modulation protocol. But you're right, the whole platform was really created to separate people and not have people talk to one another. That was the whole point of digital mobile radio. And D-Star does the same thing in a way, Fusion, but they're more, you know, user-friendly. They want people to talk to one another. But don't kid yourself. I mean, you could just use them simplex-wise, put up a big antenna, and then talk to people directly on DMR. That's not a problem at all. With regard to the radios and whatnot, I mean, this radio I got here is 13 years old. I can't believe it. It's mostly analog. Like I say, it's got the digital sections in it for speech processing and the noise reduction system in it. But yours is the same that way as well. The 7300 is a better radio for sure. It's got a digital front end in it, and it really does a very nice job, but it's also dated. I mean, I played with that thing, 6-7 years ago maybe? Something like that. It's not a particularly new design. If they've sold so many of them, they're very popular. And the Yaesu stuff, yeah, well, it's just the same sort of league, right? It's all got digital front ends on them. But you really want to do sort of like just, you know, you really wanted to have a good radio, then just make the leap and get a flex system. I mean, there's just so many advantages to that. I can't even count the ways. Just talk to Mark, and I'm sure you've been over to see Mark set up.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it, yep. Yeah, well, hey, there's, you know, like I'm part of the Contest Club Ontario, and those guys, a lot of them guys are very knowledgeable. Some of them guys, you know, that went to university and everything else, and they can talk theory and stuff over your head kind of thing, you know what I mean? And, you know, like, you know, some of their math and all that kind of stuff. But, yeah, why did I bring that up? Anyway, yeah, a lot of them guys, they use DMR, and some of them have the newest, latest, or not DMR, but what am I saying? I mean the Flex. They've got the latest Flex, and there's one guy I know that, you know, he's been contesting as long as me, you know, for a long time. He's still involved in it quite a bit, and he won't go to anything else. He thinks the Flex is radio, is it. That's it. You know, like as far superior than anything else. And that's what he goes to. And this guy is into photography and flying on those, what do you call them things? Yeah, you know what I mean. I keep thinking Android, but anyway, that's something else. Anyway, he keeps flying them, and he did a movie, and you probably know him. His name's Mike Walker, and I bought a radio op once, VA3MW, and he is, let's see, he's involved with everything. He's got a spotting thing on the internet, so you can connect to his what do you call that thing? Yeah, anyway, I'm getting tired. Yeah, you can connect to his thing to get the spots and all that where everybody is, and boy, this guy's into everything. So you know, he once did a movie. He did a movie flying around John VA3CJZ's place. You know, he did a movie on all the different antennas that John has, and you want to see an overkill setup, boy, oh boy, go see that. He's got troughs with cable in it and all kinds of stuff. It's almost like a commercial site, you know. But he's got everything. That guy John, holy Christ, unreal. But anyway, you know, TMR, I don't know. I can't get into it. You know, like you gotta buy another radio for that, and you know, to get into that, or you gotta buy one that's got it built in, and I don't have that. And then you got ICOM is competing with it, and then you got Fusion IESU is competing with it. You know, they're not different. They're all different. So, like, you know, get your act together, guys. And I think that digital voice will be the way to go in the future. I think we're going to end up with radios that have that built into it. Like, I can see that coming, you know, and it's just like every mode. You know, when they went from Spark Gap to CW, everybody complained. When they went from sideband to FM on 2 meters, everybody complained. And even the AM guys, you know, they think AM's still the cat's meow. So, you know, it doesn't matter what you get. There's some people that are going to use it and some aren't. That's the way it is. But anyway, I enjoyed this, and anyway, I'll turn back to you for anything you got to say, and I think I'm going to pull out of here. Probably nobody else is here. Steve never showed up, and those other two guys went the other way, so I don't know whether, unless Walt came back. Walt, are you there?
Yeah, I've been sitting here listening to you guys.
Oh, yeah, okay. We called you once, and you weren't there. Yeah, anyway, yeah, so Paul's doing a really good job of explaining SDR radios and digital and all kinds of stuff. So if you've been listening, you know what he said there. But anyway, Paul's a wealth of information there. Go ahead, Paul.
I was going to make a small comment about the digital voice. I was going to introduce that to Mark, by the way. I had tried it years ago when my computer, I didn't have Windows 11 and I had a computer that could interface with my radio. It's very experimental right now, Rick. It's not hard put in stone as to what they're going to use for modulation technique or anything like that, you know, with widths and things like that. So the interface has got a lot of little windows where you can see the signal in the digital domain, and it shows you the digital parameters of the signal. And you're sending out a very narrow single sideband digital signal. That's what digital voice is. So it's finicky, and it's totally experimental. Like, they just don't know yet. So this interface allows you to sort of experiment. Very cool stuff as far as I'm concerned, but it's not near ready for implementation by a manufacturer by any stretch of the imagination. Walt, by the way, I queried Garnet, and he is going to gift you the oscilloscope that I gifted him.
Oh, well, that's real nice. Okay, I'll wait to hear from you.
I just told him to drop it off at Mark's place when he gets the chance, and that Mark will get it to you. Yeah. I'm surprised he's not here, actually. I was kind of looking to talk to him, but, oh well, I'm sure I'll catch up to him. Actually, I'm feeling on the tired side here myself. I might just pull a pin here and say goodnight. Rick, good evening. Paul, all the best. I'm sure we'll talk again.
Yeah, 73. I was just thinking about doing that too. Paul and Plug, so good to hear you, and Happy New Year to you and Paul. And 73 to you both, and we'll talk to you again.
Yeah, listen, you guys both have a good night, and my throat's getting all scratchy. I was getting frogs in my throat earlier there. I've been talking all day. People called me on the phone. That was unusual to talk to so many people. Been blabbing all day. Good evening, gentlemen, and we'll catch you soon. The E3CSY.
Okay, all the best to both. E3FAT.
All right. Well, thanks for listening along, and we'll catch you next time. This is VA3CJZ from Hamilton, Ontario. 73.